Charlotte is one of the biggest cities in the United States, but it always hasn't been this way. Over the years, Charlotte has grown to the great city we know today. Today I'll be talking about Charlotte and the history of the city and the growth that the city has seen. Charlotte has changed a lot over the past years. Here's a picture of what Charlotte looks like now. So Charlotte is currently the 15th largest city in the United States, but it always hasn't been this large. I have lived in Charlotte since I was born, which was in 2006, and as we can see from these pictures, Charlotte has changed a lot just in the looks of our uptown area, which is in the city. Today I will review the history of Charlotte, the growth of the major city, and what the city has to offer and what is to come in the future for Charlotte. Charlotte is just not a major city, but it is also an older one with a lot of history. Charlotte got its name, which impacts how we view it today. Charlotte got its name by King George III, who was the ruler over the colonies when Charlotte was a part of the North Carolina colony. And it was named after King George III's beloved wife, Queen Charlotte. King George III ruled over Great Britain and Ireland from 1716 to 1811, and he married Queen Charlotte in 1761. They were married until Queen Charlotte's death in 1818, and they had 15 children together. Although Charlotte was named after the king's wife, Charlotte did not have a lot of fame until 1799 with a gold rush. According to the website article, The History of Charlotte, author Tom Hatchett writes that a boy named Conrad Reed was playing in a creek 25 miles east of the city and picked up a 17-pound rock that glittered. Little did the boy know that the rock that he picked up that shined was just not an ordinary rock, but it was actually the first piece of gold discovered in North America. The gold found in Charlotte helped spark the United States gold rush. Later, that area became Reed Gold Mine and is now a historical museum. Conrad Reed's finding of the gold is what put Charlotte on the map, and the gold rush changed the city forever. Charlotte is also known for its banking. Charlotte is a major city, but when most look at it, they see the banking side of Charlotte. The banking side of Charlotte can be linked to some history. In 1982, a banker of the North Carolina National Bank named Hugh McCall bought out a small out-of-state bank. His actions led to other banks being bought out, like the San Francisco Bank, leading to the country's first coast-to-coast bank, which is now known as Bank of America. And the Bank of America headquarters are located in Charlotte, which means that Charlotte is the second largest banking town in the country. Not only does Charlotte have a lot of history, but it also continues to grow. In the 2006 newspaper article titled "The Queen City of the South, the Local Cuisine Reflective of the City's History and Civic Ambition," the final edition, writer Peter Wilson states that with almost 1.5 million in the greater Charlotte region, the community has grown to become the largest city in the Washington, D.C. and Atlantic corridor. And Charlotte population is not done growing. The current population of Charlotte is close to 1 million, and with the metro area, which is included to Charlotte and the surrounding areas, it is close to 2.3 million. And again, from the time that I was born in 2006, the Charlotte population, just for Charlotte, not the metro area, has grown a lot. And Charlotte's growth can also be impacted on a global scale. In the book Charlotte NC, The Global Evolution of a New South City, the University of Georgia writes, Charlotte is now one of the nation's primary banking and finance cores, with tendrils reaching firmly into the global markets. The well-done banking system in Charlotte has led to some major areas of growth in the globe also, because many people are moving to Charlotte to help with banking. So this is the employment growth from 2016 and 2020 for finance. And as we can see, Charlotte is the highest leading by a lot, with close to 35%, while other major cities like Austin, Phoenix, and Tampa are not even close to how many people are moving to Charlotte just for finance. Charlotte also grows despite of disadvantages. In the book Charlotte NC, The Global Evolution of a New South City, the University of Georgia writes, Charlotte's evolution into what scholars view as independent world city is remarkable given the regional disadvantages. Charlotte is not near any ports, mountains, gateways, or navigable rivers, and this is most common for major cities, especially for colonial cities, because Charlotte was a part of the colonial times, and typically the major cities during that area were near a port or like rivers, somewhere where they could help them out in those colonial times, and Charlotte is not near that. We're not near that at all. We're in the middle of the state. So it is really cool to see that Charlotte is such a major city despite not having any geographical advantages. Charlotte is a major city and it sees no stopping, and the city has many things to offer. In the 2023 journal article titled Out with the Old, authors Audrey Knack and David Meilenberg explain that in a year or two, Charlotte's farm trade with South Tryon Street's intersection will most likely sport a tribute to the Charlotte banker Hugh McCall. Charlotte has a lot of history, and that makes the city that we know today. In the future of Charlotte wants to contribute to more of its past, especially with the banker Hugh McCall, which made Bank of America as we know today. But this is not the first time that Charlotte has contributed to its past. Charlotte is the home of President James K. Polk, and they changed his childhood home into a museum so we can honor and tribute that to him as one of our presidents who grew up in the Charlotte area. In the 2023 newspaper article, Sweet Caroline, the Courier-Mail writes the consistency ranked in the top 5 fastest growing cities in the United States. It has seemed that more than 100 restaurants have opened in the past year alone. Even some may consider Charlotte as the next big dining destination in the South, with places like Noda, South End, and Optimus Hall. This is Noda, South End, and Optimus Hall, and they have a lot of restaurants or breweries, especially opening up soon, and it just shows that Charlotte is growing not only with their banking and finances, but also with their social life, such as restaurants or breweries. And Charlotte also has other activities as well. The Whitewater Center is one of Charlotte's many places to explore. In the 2023 newspaper article titled Sweet Caroline, the Courier-Mail writes that the Whitewater Center is a 500-acre property offering a host of recreational activities, everything from rock climbing to mountain biking, with 80 kilometers of trail, a man-made whitewater rafting courses where U.S. Olympians train. The Whitewater Center is one of the many activities that can be found in North Carolina, specifically Charlotte. Here's a picture of Whitewater Center, and here's the entrance sign. While the Whitewater Center is a great activity, Charlotte has a lot of history, growth, and things to offer and things to come. Today I informed you about the history of Charlotte and the growth of the city and what the city has been able to see. And today I talked about how the city is not only just growing, but the city had a lot of history in the past and has a lot of things to come in the future. Whether you live in Charlotte or not, the city is a great place to visit, and the things that are happening just in the city aren't impacting our state, but also the country as a whole.